Hello, Skelevaderites. Welcome to episode 21 of SKELE'S Weekly Weirdo. I almost said Toy Frenzy. So everybody doing all right? Everybody hanging in there? I don't know about you all, but where we are in California, it's 100 and something today. Above 100, I know that for sure, and it's friggin' hot. So I hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all staying cool and taking care of yourselves and your pets and all that stuff. So we got several people watching. I love this cobweb collector, 44 hours and counting. He was the first one to chime into the chat 44 hours ago. That's awesome. Honor you, 83. Great to see you here. Bud, great to see you. Fantastic to see you. And Oz, as always, Oz, fantastic to see you. And of course, he's saying the same thing that I want to say right now too. Good to see all my friends here. It's great to see all of you here. All right, Sean is here watching. That's fantastic. Good to see you here. Well, this is great. So listen, folks, today's Weekly Weirdo, it's a special one. A little bit outside of the box for me, and for a variety of reasons. But the main, one of the main reasons is that, as you all know, I don't purposefully collect a lot of heroes. My favorites are usually the villains in pretty much every IP that I've collected over the years. Although, you know, I have a deep appreciation for heroes in Masters of the Universe and in Star Wars. Those are my two favorite IPs, as you all know. But when it comes to DC Comics, back in 1988, right before the 89 Batman movie hit the theaters, there was a huge growing resurgence, at least in my little world, of interest in DC Comics, primarily Batman. But of course, all the DC characters were being looked at again. You know, with the Batman hype growing, a few other characters would be being considered for films. But that's not who I'm going to be talking about today. I'm not going to be talking about Batman, though he is probably my favorite DC hero. When I was little, it was Superman all the way. Then when I was like a preteen, it was all about Batman. Then when 89 hit and I was, you know, entering my teen years, it was all about Batman. But then I discovered a few other characters. And one of the big discoveries for me during that era was, oh yeah, sorry, Melvin's, that's right, absolutely. And I chose this Melvin shirt because the color is appropriate. Can you guess who I'm going to be talking about today? So my other favorite hero from the DC universe was Swamp Thing. And Swamp Thing arrived in the DC universe, I think it's 1971. And that wasn't Swamp Thing number one. He was in I wrote it down here, House of Secrets, number 92. Now, you know, I wasn't born until 76, so that was ahead of my time. But what happened in the mid 80s, you know, right before I got really interested in DC Comics, there was that amazing run of Swamp Thing comics written by Alan Moore. And when I rediscovered it, I discovered them after the fact. When I discovered that, I was just blown away, floored, in fact. And it reminded me that several years earlier, I think 1982, the Wes Craven movie. My dad rented the Wes Craven movie when it first came out on, I don't know what it was, must have been VHS, but and it probably was like 1985 by the time we saw it. Maybe it was beta, I don't know. But the I really enjoyed the 1982 Swamp Thing movie directed by Wes Craven, and it was a revelatory moment for me because you know, I already liked Wes Craven at that point. I was huge into the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And when I discovered he did the Swamp Thing movie that I already knew I liked, I was stoked. It's not a very good movie. So, folks, if you haven't seen that Swamp Thing movie, that first one, Return of Swamp Thing is good too, but it's super campy. The first one attempts to be serious. Oh, this is cool. Sean Goss. My wife got on stage with the Melvins when they opened for Tool in Austin City Music Hall. That's fantastic. When I first saw the Melvins, they played, they opened up for, I think it was Primus or Tool, I can't remember. And it was 93 or something like that. And someone threw, hated them so much that they threw their shoe. They were willing to sacrifice their shoe. They didn't like him so much. And right from that moment, I knew these guys were onto something good. And plus, like, they were playing this song that was a good 15 minutes long by that point. And I was just like, no one's doing this. Conceptually, aesthetically, the heaviness, it just did it for me. It clicked. And plus, people didn't like them. And so I was like all about that. I was like, yes. Fantastic. So that's awesome, Sean. And make sure you high five your wife for me for that one. And Bud says, yeah, Alan Moore Swamp Thing is the best. Fantastic. It's so good. And I've been tempted to sort of repurchase those. I sold those comic books a long time ago. I don't know why. I do know why. I needed the money. Didn't get much for it, but yeah, I've been thinking about getting that the collected volumes. And Buddy's saying the TV series in the 90s was epic. Very cool. Yes, absolutely. Although I will say that the 2019 miniseries, or it was intended to be a longer series, but the 2019 one's pretty dark and pretty great. I got it for like $5 at Walmart. And watched all those episodes, and it was really, I was impressed, to be honest with you. I think Swamp Thing deserves a resurgence of some kind. Honor U83 says, I have both of the Swamp Thing movies on DVD. Oh, that's great. That's cool. Big into comic book movies. Yeah, there's some that are incredibly special. Skyfall, good to see you. Shoe the Shoeless. Yes. That person was willing to throw their shoe at the Melvins. That's how much they disliked them. And to me, that's commendable. All right, so I don't have, with that being said, I totally missed the boat in 1990 when, 1990, 91, when the animated series, I didn't want, I mean, I was already way out of that, out of toy collecting. I was trying, getting into music and girls and stuff. And I missed the animated series. I didn't grab any of those Kenner action figures, though now whenever I see them on eBay, I'm like, those seem really, really cool. And I hadn't seen a lot of Swamp Thing action figures hit the market that really struck a chord with me. There were a lot of really nice ones out there, but none that really captured the Swamp Thing that I wanted to have as an action figure until not too long ago, McFarlane came out with Swamp Thing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. But I'm going to be talking about the variant, for the GameStop variant that McFarlane put out. So I've got that to show off. That's my weekly weirdo for today. Swamp Thing is one of the most amazing characters of all time. Oz, yes, absolutely, without a doubt. And Bud is saying, I'm sad that show was canceled. They built a set for the swamp but didn't have the proper licenses. Oh, geez, I didn't know that. That sucks. I mean, I didn't know why they canceled it. I guess that makes sense. But that if you ever get a chance, folks, to find those episodes, do watch them. The 2019 version. And all right, the glow in the dark Swamp Thing is king, of course. Oz, yes, Swamp Thing is the best. I mean, glow in the dark is always the best, and it's glow in the dark Swamp Thing, absolutely. One of these days, I'll get some of those Kenner figures, but in the meantime, this guy is spectacular. In fact, I bought the Batman, a McFarlane Batman, and I stole this from him because it only came with one of these, and he doesn't stand up very well without two, because he's so incredibly hefty, tall, and because McFarlane's sculpts are always try to honor the particular version of the comic book character that they are interpreting. His ankles are thin. They're, the joints are good, but they do get a little loose, especially in the hot weather. But with these two little stands, he stands up great. But I just want you all to see how spectacular this figure is. I know with a lot of the figures on Weekly Weirdo, most folks who watch the show, they're already familiar, right? But when I saw this advertised, I thought, this is it. This is the one. They came out with a regular release without the branch horns, but I wanted this version. This is the version I wanted. And I was lucky enough to find him through GameStop, and he was a little bit discounted. I must have just gotten lucky, but this guy is phenomenal. I don't know if he's going to focus in there. And John, great to see you here. Good to see you. There's something in the mail coming for you, so keep an eye out. Looks like a swamp god for sure, Oz. Absolutely. Yeah, looks like a crown. Fantastic. And yeah, JMax77, good to see you. Melvin's plus Swamp Thing. That's right. That's so true. So this guy's great. I mean, he's heavy metal. He's like, he is, he's fantastic. Sludge metal, like this Swamp Thing, right? But yeah, I'm really happy with him. And honestly, having purchased him, I don't feel like I need any other versions of Swamp Thing. And unless I can find a good deal, if I run into some of those Kenner figures out at a flea market or antique store or something for a good deal, then maybe I'll consider it. But this guy is beautiful. The details, the sculpt is incredible. Look at the spine here, all the leaves, all the different aspects of him, the bark. And I wanted to talk about him today for a variety of reasons. One, I've been wanting to talk about Swamp Thing. I've been wanting to introduce you all to my Swamp Thing through Weekly Weirdo for a while now. But also, I chose him because we're right about to enter, I'm hoping we're about to enter Mossman season. And it seems like Mossman is showing up. And really, I'm a huge Mossman fan. And I know that I'm a huge Mossman fan because Mossman exists because of Swamp Thing. I knew about Mossman before I knew about Swamp Thing. Go figure. But when you look at this character, this is my classics Mossman that my wife got me. And we look at Swamp Thing, you know that they are like from the same family, basically. Able to control plants, made up of, swamp plant material. And so like with the Swamp Thing, the Origin Swamp Thing starting to hit Walmarts and potentially, I'm hoping we can get him online so we don't have to like go visit all the Walmarts and not know where they are. But it's exciting that we're finally going to get Mossman in Origins line, which of course made me think of Swamp Thing. Yes. Question. Oh, let's see. I don't know if I can exist with if it can exist with the $40 price point, or you can exist with the $40 price point. Oh, you're talking about Mossman. Yeah, I saw the price point on that. That seems ridiculous. I know that that Mattel might be justifying it because of the incredible packaging. So, but that's kind of, you know, in my opinion, it's a little bit crappy because I'm an opener. A lot of folks are openers, and when it comes to Mossman, most people are going to want to open him because he's going to smell like pine, and you want to have that experience. But if you want to keep that amazing box art and you want to keep the packaging intact, you might have to buy two, and that's going to bring you close to 80 bucks. And I think that's insane. I'm going to save the packaging, but I'm definitely going to open up mine. But Bud had a question: Swamp Thing versus Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's a horrible question, but I can't answer it. But to be honest with you, if I just look at my collection, I have more Creature from the Black Lagoon than I do Swamp Thing. So if I had to choose, I might have to choose Creature. But I love Swamp Thing. And I discovered the Creature from the Black Lagoon when I was just a tiny little thing, watching him on TV. So I discovered Creature from the Black Lagoon before I discovered Masters of the Universe. Before I discovered Swamp Thing. So Creature just sort of earns that place in my heart. Creature first. Let's see. Honor you if I can. Oh yeah, if you can swing it, right? I mean, it's going to be hard. That $40 price point is hard. I will say that Swamp Thing was at a $40 price point. Look at how massive this figure is. He was around $40. I think I got him for like 36 or something like that. He's massive, right? I mean, he's the same size, same height as my forearm. And Mossman is just a little Origins figure. So I think the price point's a little insane, to be honest with you. With all the hype, that's how they're justifying it. I think the hype for this figure, we've been waiting so long, the unique packaging, the fact that he's pine scented, comes with two different heads, comes with the yellow Beastman armor that we got from the armor pack, or the, you know, I guess they're justifying it as kind of a deluxe figure. Ostradamus Toys, Creature just lost to Merman on Jelly-Eyed Kraken's page. I've been watching those. I love those. I love his photo series. They're so good, and he's using the reaction Creature from the Black Lagoon and the reaction Merman, and he loves Stinkor too. So I love his. Folks, you should watch check out Jelly-Eyed Kraken on Instagram. His photos are hilarious. Their photos are hilarious. I don't know if he's male or female, but Jelly-Eyed Kraken. Hey, Carol, guys, great to see you. Fantastic to see you. Bud says, and cheaper. Creature from the Black Lagoon is cheaper than Swamp Thing. Yeah, I guess so. Although the NECA ones, you know, the NECA ones are pretty pricey, like $35 something, $39 maybe even. I don't know. Maybe not that pricey. I'll have to double check the prices on those. But the NECA Universal Monsters are beautiful. This guy is beautiful. Origins Mossman, he's gonna be beautiful, folks. I mean, the flocking looks great. They decided to give him the traditional Beastman face, you know, with the open mouth. I mean, this is classics, but it's really an honor. They're honoring the traditional Beastman sculpt with this, which is my favorite version of Mossman, just saying. And notice in classics, they did not paint out the tips of his teeth. So the vintage one, they painted out the tips of his teeth so he would have flat teeth because he's a good guy. But this guy, this is the face, similar to the face we're going to get with the Origins Mossman, and that makes me very happy. Sharp teeth and everything. Oh, Bud is saying, no, I was talking about McFarlane Swamp Thing versus Origins Mossman. Yep, that's true. Absolutely. Yes, I assume Jelly-Eyed Kraken is a genderless sea beastie like Cthulhu, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. And Carol Guy says, Bud, Swamp Thing looks cool. Yep, for sure. This guy is amazing. I haven't looked to see if he's still available. He's probably not available as a new figure, but maybe through secondary sellers like I haven't seen if he's available on GameStop. I didn't do any research on that before I went live today. But I have seen him on eBay. I don't think that the price is too bad right now, but it's been a while since I've price checked him. But this guy is a real beauty, and he fits in with all my weirdos. It makes a lot of sense that he's part of my collection, and I'm glad you were all here to share the glory of Swamp Thing with me. In particular, the McFarlane limited release or GameStop exclusive version of Swamp Thing with the branch horns. And Bud is saying, yeah, I'll be getting that Swamp Thing figure once I get paid. I hope the price hasn't gone up too much, Bud. So so have a look at that. And if it has gone up, I apologize for getting you excited about him. And Oz saying he is awesome. Yep, for sure. I agree, Oz. So, folks, I didn't want to spend too much talking about Mossman because, of course, Mossman's going to show up on the Weekly Weirdo in the future. And so stay tuned. Keep watching the Weekly Weirdos with me every Sunday or every other Sunday, depending on my schedule. Bud has an update. GameStop Swamp Thing is $45 and the retail is $34 on Amazon. Fantastic. So I think I got him at about $34, $35. So that's a really good deal, folks. That hasn't gone up too much in price. So get yourselves a GameStop exclusive Swamp Thing. He's beautiful. You will not regret it. He's an amazing figure. And yeah, both at a good price for sure. JMax77, looking forward to the new Cambridge and with Sean episode soon. Yes, it's going to be good. We recorded it yesterday, and not going to say too much about what it's about, but it is, I will say that it is gnarly. How about that? It's a good one. And folks, you know the deal. If you want to hear the Cambridge and with Sean podcasts earlier than when they go live on wherever you find your podcasts, Apple Podcasts or whatever, if you want to hear those Cambridge and with Sean episodes early and without commercials, become a patron of the Skelevator channel. The link is right down below. For $3 a month or whatever you decide to contribute, you can get access to that. I'll also send you a Toy Frenzy sticker, which is a gorgeous sticker, by the way. Amazing design by Ostradamus Toys. Beautiful. You'll get a sticker, plus you get the opportunity to choose a character, and I will paint that character for you and send it your way. Usually it takes me a while to make them, just because it's art. But they will come your way. Like John, figuratively speaking, John, he has his Patreon exclusive painting coming to him. He chose Evil Lynn, and Thanos Copter has his Patreon exclusive painting coming to him. He chose Orko. It doesn't have to be Masters of the Universe. Heck, it could be Swamp Thing. It could be Mossman. It could be Batman. It could be, Strawberry Shortcake. I will give it my best shot, give you a unique painting. My technique is pretty interesting. It's like layer of spray paint and acrylic paint, and so it has a little bit of there's a little bit of a painterly looseness to them, so that makes it unique, right? And plus you get those Cambridge and with Sean episodes. Ostradamus Toys saying gnarly Barkley. It's not Gnarls Barkley. It's not gnarly Barkley. But you'll see. And Carol loves her painting. Thank you, Carol. That's awesome. I'm glad you do. I had a lot of fun making yours. So folks, thank you all so much for watching. Do the channel a favor, click like and subscribe, hit that bell notification for future episodes. The whole YouTube thing. If you do feel like becoming a patron, go ahead and click that link below and check out the options. And even though it doesn't say at the $3 a month range, you get a piece of artwork, you actually do. So $3 a month will get you that. I think it's fun for me, and it's exciting to have folks support the channel just because it It allows us to do different things. It allows us to do giveaways and stuff during the Toy Frenzy episodes when we do get around to doing them. Which, by the way, folks, at the end of this month, we're having our 50th episode. Plus, it's our 1-year anniversary show. So we're going to be giving away some stuff. And that giveaway is going to be particularly epic. And the giveaway really, honestly, wouldn't be possible without the patrons. So thank you all so much. And everybody watching, thank you all so much for participating in the conversation. I love hearing what you have to say about what I'm sharing here. Just as a quick reminder, the Weekly Weirdo episodes is for you, and it's for me too, because it allows me to re-experience and reinvigorate or reestablish why some of these are so important in my life and why they've remained in my collection while other things have been sold off or traded out or what have you. I know, Oz, 1 year of Frenzy. I can't believe it. And actually, it's already been a year, but we wanted to collectively share the 1-year anniversary along with our 50th episode. And also it's going to be Bobby's, Vintage Motu Bobby's birthday right around there too. So it's a big celebration this month in the Toy Frenzy universe. So watch on Thursday evenings. This Thursday is going to be our second viewer showcase. So you'll also see down below my email address. Like if you make things, or if you're a photographer, or you draw, you paint, or you make customs, or you make dioramas, or you make stuff, you make anything, and you're a fan of the Skelevator channel, or a fan of Toy Frenzy, or a fan of the Weekly Weirdo episodes, then go ahead and send me images. The viewer showcase is an opportunity for all of you to share what you do through the Toy Frenzy episode. So that's this Thursday. So gather some of those photos together. We'll do about 3 to 5 images per contributor. We've already gotten some. So there's no limit on who will share. So if we get 2, 3 more, or 20 more, I will download them and put them into the slideshow. Of course, folks, goes without saying, they've got to be viewer appropriate. So just remember that. El Tenda, fantastic. Good to see you here. Great to see you. I've been really enjoying your posts on Instagram, the movies you've been watching, the movies you've been collecting. I hope you start to do movie reviews, man. That would be awesome. And JMac77, they grew up so fast, I know. Pretty soon it'll be 2 years of the Toy Frenzy. Pretty cool. I feel real lucky to be a part of it, and Oz, and thank you to Oz and Bobby and Adam and Sean for hosting the show with me, and thank you all for watching, and thank you all for tuning in to episode 21, Swamp Thing, particularly McFarlane Swamp Thing episode. Thank you all so much for being here, and of course, I'll see you soon. I'm just getting it ready to say goodbye. And have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Stay cool, be safe, be happy, and stay